Everybody, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. In today's video we are going to be doing a stats review on the Raimondo Montecuccoli. Hopefully I probably didn't pronounce that anywhere near correctly, but I can pronounce New Zealand cities like Whakatane and Whanganui, and I have no problems with that, so I will put my ignorance down to the fact that I'm on the wrong part of the world to pronounce Italian names. So anyway, we will do a stats review. So I'll compare it with the French ship, which I just had to go out and buy because, well, yeah. So looking at remembering, I've done a review of the tier 3 ship, which is the Toronto, and it was sort of a little bit like the Freant, but well, actually not as good, to be fair. So it's more of a long range, high speed, not very manoeuvrable, not very strong cruiser. So we'll be comparing it with the ML Bhutan anyway, and potentially, I don't think measuring it up against the Furataka is the right thing. Maybe the Kirov, although the Kirov has much more powerful guns. The Kirov is another long range cruiser. 18,500 hit points, 7.5% citadel protection, 10% fire and flooding resistance, 6% damage, and torpedo damage reduction, which is actually the same as the tier 3 ship, which means that it's likely to be, well, there we go, it's 18,500 versus 17,200 for the French ML Bhutan, and to be fair, that means that it's actually a little bit tankier than the ML Bhutan. 18,500 is 1,000 more than the Kirov, although the Kirov has a slightly greater, by 1.5% torpedo damage reduction. So to be fair, it's not a bad ship. It's certainly it's tankier than the Königsberg, and I suspect we'll probably find out why it's tankier. Yeah, it's tankier than pretty much, well, okay then, it's not actually too untanky as a ship. It's not quite the same as the Furataka, which is actually pretty heavy as far as a tier 5 cruiser goes. And with the Omaha, the Atway's in it better than the Omaha as well. So, okay then, it's fairly tough, which is a bit of a difference in the tier 3, that's for certain. 36 knots, that seems quite quick. That seems almost destroyer speed. 15 seconds to get there, of course, which is pretty slow, I would say, for a cruiser. Traverse speed 7.8 degrees per second with a 9-second, almost 10-second turn time. So that's 7.8 degrees per second. Let's have a look at that 36 knots. So 7.6, so the ML Bhutan isn't a great turner. 35 knots, a lot faster to get there. So it's a knot and a half faster than the ML Bhutan, but a lot less acceleration. The ML Bhutan has 25% better turn time. Yeah, so, okay, then we're getting a bit of a theme here. Okay then, it's faster than the Kirov, which is fairly fast in itself. The Kirov is very slow to get there, but the Kirov has absolutely tragic maximum traverse speed of 6 degrees per second. So good luck with that. 7.2. So it's actually a little bit more agile. Once it's in the turn, it turns faster than the Königsberg, but getting into the turn is a lot slower. 3.1 seconds slower. And of course, the Königsberg has a much reduced top speed. The Emerald, much reduced top speed. Emerald is extremely agile at 8 degrees per second and 6.3 seconds turn time. Something I take shameless advantage of when I play the Emerald, which I do like. This is got a good turn time, but actually quite slow traverse speed, so the Furataka is almost as bad as the Kirov. Moderately quick at 34 knots, so yeah, the Omaha, it's not as good in the turn as the Omaha, but it's faster. Okay, right, let's go have a look at the guns. The main event for this ship. It's got 4 turrets, 4 times 2, so 8 guns with an 8.5 second reload, which is going to seem like an awfully long time, I think, when we're in the game. 9.3 kilometre range, 570 main damage, which is the SAP. The AP is 100 less, and 9 degrees per second turret traverse. So it's got quite slow turrets. It's a bit slower reloading than the French ship, which has 9 guns rather than the 8. But in a 2 turrets at the front, 1 in the rear configuration. It does more damage, so the AP does less damage at 470, but that 570 SAP damage is nice for dealing with light targets. The Kirov, of course, will blow everything out of the water, except on reload, 13 seconds, which is a good 4.5 seconds slower. 10 kilometre range, absolutely sluggingly massive damage of 680 for AP, 8 degrees per second, which is pretty slow turrets, but still, yeah, pretty slow turrets. That's pretty slow turrets. Right, 8.2 second reload for the Königsberg, which is 6-inch guns, 9.6 kilometre range, I think it's slightly more. Does less damage, or does pretty good damage, 540 less than the SAP by 30, but still that's AP damage. So this is a pretty good ship for AP. The turret 10 degrees per second, relatively quick turret traverse. The Emerald, which actually has guns splattered all over the place, is a bit of a mess, but 7.5 second reload, 9.48 range, which is pretty good, 450 AP damage, which is pathetic, and 10 degrees per second, which sort of makes up for it. But it needs that because it's pretty good in the turn. The Furataka, it has big guns, 11 second reload, 200mm. So yeah, there's no comparison. 700 main battery AP damage. The Omaha also 7 seconds, so 6-inch guns, relatively quick loading. Quite a lot of them peppered all over the place though. 480, so quite low damage. 480 damage and 12 degree per second turret traverse, which isn't quite so important on the ship because it basically has casement guns scattered all over the hull. Right, torpedo tubes. So its guns are, well, a bit slow firing, reasonable range, and do reasonable damage with SAP. Good luck shooting anything else. So it has the same as the British light cruiser issue. Torpedoes, 2x2 torpedo tubes, which is exactly the same as the Tier 3, except the torpedoes are much longer range, 8.1 kilometres, which is pretty nice. 61 knots, same speed. Moderate chance of flooding at 15%. 36 second reload, which is nice, because here we've got 50 second reload, 6 kilometre range, and 1 knot faster. Although you've got 2x3, so you've got 3 on each side, so yeah, okay, 2 or 3. To be fair, take the 36 second reload over the 50 second reload every time. The Kirov has torpedoes, good luck. Right, the Königsberg also has torpedoes, good luck with that too. They reload quickly, but they don't go very far. British torpedoes, yeah, okay. Right, Furataka has torpedoes. 7.5 kilometre range, 66 knots, so they're about 6 knots faster. It has slightly less range by 0.4 kilometres, 48 second reload, which is a bit slower, but it has 2x3. Are they centerline mounted? They don't look centerline mounted to me. I can't, no, they're not centerline mounted. And the Omaha also has torpedoes, but yeah, 6 kilometre range, which is not as terrible as the Emerald or the Königsberg, or definitely not the Kirov. Pretty slow, reasonably quick reload, and it has 4x2, which means it'll have 4 per side, which isn't too bad, to be fair. The great thing about these torpedoes on the Raimondo Montecuccoli is that torpedoes have phenomenal range and good reload. Okay, it has some AA, which I don't think the Tier 3 had because it had planes flying overhead and didn't do any shooting back. It has a surface detection of something, of basically the same as other cruisers, apart from the Kirov, obviously. What's the Emerald? Okay, then it actually has fairly good surface detection because the Emerald, to be fair, is It's pretty ugly surface detection. That's my biggest problem with the Emerald, is its massive surface detection ring. So yeah, it's maybe not quite as good as the Omaha, but then again, it's got it's got good surface detection. It's even better than the Omaha. So there we go. So the comparative stats review, rough and ready. What we'll do now is we will go do some upgrading. Hopefully we've got enough blueprints. I think we've got enough of those blueprints. Don't know how we get 11,000 of those, but yeah, it's enough to do the job. Let's see what choices we get. We get speed, large caliber, yeah, whatever. Turret traverse, so effectively we get turret traverse, and it's a different choice between speed +3 or main battery reload -3, and I'm going to go for main battery reload because I like shooting stuff. Pretty unscientific. We'll go buy some supplies, and because I'm not going to turn it into a stealth ship, we will get improved crew rations, preventative maintenance pack, and refined diesel. Okay, and for equipment, turret traverse, because it's pretty much everything. So here we have some choices. And what I'm going to do is, its acceleration is shocking, let's deal with that, and its turn time is shocking, let's deal with that. It already has reasonably good speed. And I'm hoping that this is not going to be a repeat of the last battle, which was basically a terrible, terrible rout. So now I am in New Zealand, and it is, well, okay then, it's obviously morning in the States, good stuff. Right, so what are we up against? Kuma, Svetlana. So we have no destroyers, although we have a lot of enemy cruisers, which is lucky. We have 2 battleships, which I'll avoid, unlike from the last game where I failed to avoid them appropriately and got punished for it. Oh dear, it's a triple cap game. And I'm not really in a cap stealing ship because it's be like the equivalent of a Kirov. So what do we got? What's that? That's an Emil Bataan, and that is Isuzuchi. So he's going to go out to the side. It has quite good torpedo angles, very good torpedo angles. What are we up against again? Svetlana, good stuff. Kuma will murder that. Marblehead and Omaha, that's scary. And if those battleships are heading this direction, that's not a good look. So I'm going to try and sneak the cap. Oh, I've got smoke. I can actually try and sneak the cap, which is an advantage because, and then we found the 2 battleships. And then what we'll do here is we will, oops, that wasn't what I meant to do, but anyway. So we will try and, where if his torpedoes coming at me. Okay, that felt a lot better than the last game. I don't have to worry about his torpedoes. I do have to worry about his guns, but he has to worry about my guns more because, oh, hello, that was just as well. He's going in reverse. He has accurate long-range guns. I have accurate long-range guns. I have no capability of turning. And that Isuzuchi should definitely make short work of him. Sorry, smoke's back. It's quite nice to have smoke at tier 5. I should pretty much finish him off. That's him finished off. Well, if I want to attract attention to myself, here's the way to do it. What was he going for? He was going for me. I'm not really sure if I should use SAP against this ship. Got our Furitaka. He's going to be doing the business. He's landed some nice hits with his torpedoes. I'm just trying to keep my guns going for that bow. He's gone. Okay, it's a different game. So the SAP does extremely good damage, but only against lightly armoured targets. Well, does a carrier count as a lightly armoured target? Come on. I don't have any speed boost, so it's not a French ship. Oh, the carrier's doing a good job of defending himself. Okay then. We're getting what looks like reasonable full penetration hits there. Okay. Yeah, I don't want this guy to... Yeah, okay. It's probably a waste of smoke. And I really am turning the wrong direction, aren't I? This is a Congo. Okay then, we'll punish you for going backwards. We'll keep the turn up because I don't really want to stay broadside. My guns get back on target. Okay, we're getting through the deck armour, which is nice. I was expecting a whole lot of bounces. Okay. Right. She protected our carrier. Oh man, this thing turns slowly. I'll try and get my other torpedoes in on him. Okay, we avoided that calamity. I don't think my torpedoes are going to quite finish him off, but they have. If I had smoke, I'd probably use it about here. There we go. That's how it's done. Okay. So, having learned a lesson at Tier 3, the secret of this ship is that it is very much a long-range ship. Keep the range out. It's not going to be a brawler. It's not a knife fighter. So, definitely a different style compared to my usual British battleships, British cruisers, sorry. Yeah, the SAP is actually quite good as long as you use it against the right thing. I was surprised it was doing damage against the Congo, but I'll take it. Torpedoes are sort of, well, a bit of a sideshow, so yeah, it has torpedoes. Good luck. And having smoke at Tier 5, even though it is fuel smoke, if you do want to hide and you're getting hammered, you just have to wait. You know, you have to give yourself sort of like that. Smoke doesn't last that long. You need to give yourself a good couple of seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And it's going to be 10 seconds under fire. Then you pop the smoke without firing, and that will clear your firing circle and get you away. So, yeah. Anyway, that is the Raimondo Montecuccoli, which I'm getting better at saying each time. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.